What's cooking, Juventus fans? Welcome back to your old lady's favorite YouTube channel. Today, let's calm it down real quick, okay? I know what you guys are gonna say. It's a Dybala episode. It is, but there's so much more news beyond that when it comes to Juventus' Mercado. So don't click off just yet. But we are going to talk about the Dybala situation. How much is it going to be about Dybala? Really not. Really what we're talking about, though, is could Juventus have really found their replacement for Dybala if it breaks down? We got to talk about this. Stick with us. We'll fill you in now. Ciao ragazzi, welcome back to the Bianconeri Zone. It's Monday, March 7th, 2022, and of course I've got your latest rundown of all things Juventus, all the news you care about, in a quick bite as quickly as we can get you in and out and about your day. Before we do anything, go ahead and smash that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that bell icon to stay notified for all of our latest videos. Let's just jump into it, and like I said, this has to do with Dybala, but it's not a just Dybala-centric episode, if you will, of the news. So first off, we start off with Tudo Sports, who's saying that in the case of no Dybala deal, on one hand, they will work to buy Morata at a lower fee. But then on the other hand, Juve continue to work for Raspadori, who is convincing the club from all points of view, from technical to an economic level. So obviously because he'd be a cheaper option, definitely going to be a cheaper option long-term than having Paulo Dybala. And also because technically, he's not technically, but he is a young player. He's not technically a young player. He's a younger player with a bigger future to move ahead, especially rather than Morata, who's a bit older, but also seems to find himself always playing in a top-level club somehow. He's a good striker. Let's not kid ourselves. I would be more than happy to retain Morata, especially if you can get him for a cheaper option. And when I say cheaper, I mean about 15 million euros. We talked about it on the live show earlier today. Yeah, we had a morning live. Make sure you check that one out if you were working during the day. But also, 20 million euros is a number that can be floated out there that maybe I could see Juve coming up with. But a lot of pieces have to fall into place for that to end up working out. I think 15 million is really the option that makes the most sense. But will it make sense for Atletico Madrid? Because while they have a ton of strikers right now and a lot of forwards in their room, other clubs don't. Barcelona is one that's on the list. I definitely are looking at him, so we'll see if that ends up panning out for him to move there. But overall, Raspadori, let's continue on with that topic, though, because you have Nico Schira, who is saying that Sassuolo have turned down a bid from Newcastle for Giacomo Raspadori last January. They offered 25 million euros to sign the Italian forward, who is now on Juventus' list as a possible signing for next season. So we'll see if this hype keeps building. I think a lot of this, though, is going to be related to the Dybala situation. If Dybala doesn't get signed to a new deal and he moves on, say to Barcelona, say to Inter, God forbid, goes to Inter. I'll say this real quick. I don't think he's going to Inter. Maybe I'm putting my name on the line. My name, like it matters. But what I'm saying overall is I don't think he's going to Inter. I think that's more to scare Juventus fans, to scare the front office of Juventus, like, oh, I'm going to your heated rival, rah, that kind of situation. I don't think it's going to happen. I think if anyway, he goes somewhere like Barcelona or something like that. But I do think that this could be also a little bit of leverage, and there's truth to it, though. Raspadori is a target for Juventus that Juventus are interested in, but also who are we kidding? We all know the rumors when it comes to Raspadori. Raspadori is an Inter fan. I know allegiances as fans do not matter when you're playing professionally, right? There's a professionalism to it. You move on, you go play for a club. It may not be the club that you love growing up, even though maybe Zaniolo will end up coming to Juve, even though he has been a Juve fan during his youth. So we'll see how that plays out. But as it stands for right now, I'm interested to see if this becomes something that's real and comes to fruition, to really going after Giacomo Raspadori. He's a solid talent as a youth, but he's not going to be the level of a Dybala. He may be a Dybala replacement, but he ain't a Dybala replacement. Does that make sense to you? I don't think he's got the technical skill. I don't think he's nearly as talented as Dybala is. But one thing he isn't is constantly injured, right? So we got to be honest there with the situation with Dybala, and we'll see how that ends up playing out. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Would you rather go for Raspadori than keeping Dybala, or would you rather just say moving on? Raspadori is not good enough. I don't care that he's Italian. He's not good enough to play at Juventus compared to a Paulo Dybala. Let's keep Dybala. All right, continuing on though. Oh, we got another good Good fun player to talk about for you guys. And that's, of course, we're talking about Bernardeschi. And Gazzetta dello Sport is saying that Juve's offer for Bernardeschi remains a 3-year contract at 2.5 million euros plus bonuses. Federico is asking for a 5-year contract at 4 million euros. He prefers to stay, but on the other hand, clubs are interested. Well, I'm glad for you, my boy. I'm glad for you, Bernardeschi, that other clubs are interested, because you know what? I am not interested in paying 4 freaking million euros to you to do what you do and what you bring to the club right now. Yeah, I understand. There's injuries, there's issues. Juve are going to need to utilize Bernardeschi potentially at the end of the season. We'll see how much he really gets utilized. But I think 2.5 million to a topping out at 3 million euros per season is more than adequate for what Bernardeschi brings to the club. I don't care that he can be utilized at every position. I don't care that you can play him at goalkeeper. I don't care whatever you all want to say that, oh, he's just so versatile. Well, guess what? He ain't versatile in the one spot we need him to play in. He ain't that good, right? I don't know why I'm saying ain't. I don't even really usually say that. I always say it when I'm on this channel. I don't know why. I don't know. Anyway, but overall, Bernardeschi is not good enough to make 4 million euros per season. 4.5 is what I thought he was initially asking for. Maybe it's coming down a little lower. Plus 5 years. 5 years. 5 years of Bernardeschi. That's how much longer he wants you to have him. I mean, you want to commit 20 million euros to Bernardeschi right now? I don't think so. You can move it on for right now. Honestly, that's the way I feel. If he wants to come down to the 2.5 million euros plus bonus, and that's what Juve is offering to do, that's fine. You can be a plug and play kind of guy down the line. Never really a starter, always a bridesmaid, not the bride or whatever. But we'll see what happens going in the future. Moving on to another player who I'm not saying I've sullied on a little bit, but Calcio Mercato is talking about Moise Kean and really his future for Juventus. And yeah, I guess I have. Let's be honest. I was really hopeful about Moise Kean's return to Juventus, and it really has not been all it's been cracked up to be. And going off of that, that's why Calcio Mercato is reporting that it's very possible that Moise Kean will leave the club in the summer, with PSG being a serious option. Moise joined on a 2-year loan at 7 million euros plus an obligation at 28 million euros plus 3 million euros bonuses. Everton are open, though, to ending the agreement only if they know a team, it's PSG, will buy him. And they put it in quotations, I guess, or they put it in parentheses. I guess I didn't have to read it that way. But it's PSG. PSG are the guys that are interested in him. He can flourish a little bit in PSG's system because you have all these top-tier players that end up taking all the attention, but also are actually able to create for him and do stuff for him to really let him run a little bit rampant there. Also, you're playing in a lesser league. Let's not kid ourselves. It's a lesser league. My personal opinion on this, when Moise Kean came back, I was excited for it. I was hopeful for it, but it just hasn't panned out. He really struggled. Yeah, he had a goal the other day, but overall, he just hasn't panned out to be the player that I really thought he could be at Juventus. A youth product that I really was hopeful that he would develop and that he would continue to maybe be one of those guys for Juventus moving forward, be a part of the Italian team. We've seen his issues with the Italian national team. It seems that he and Mancini are not on good terms, and it doesn't seem like he's going to really get a serious opportunity to be a part of that because of his own decisions. It's unfortunate, but I don't think it's going to work out. I know a lot of people would be, I don't want to say happy, but would be content with him moving on. Okay, and then you're not putting also that money into him, right? All right, now we actually talk about Dybala, though. Dybala's situation is Tutto Sports reporting, saying that this week, Juve will meet with Jorge Anton to discuss the renewal of Dybala. But it will be difficult to close the deal, as Juve will offer lower wages than the previous offer. Do I want to hot take it right now? We talked about it a little bit on the live show that we did earlier today. But, and I understand there are many, many thoughts and different processes that come out here when we talk about Dybala and his renewal with the club. I understand he's been a solid player. He's been a useful player, but I also understand that he's been injured, right? And I also understand that he's probably the most talented, naturally talented players that Juve have. But here's the thing. There's two lines of thinking. Juve have offered a lower price because, to be frank, he's injured all the time. He's hurt. He's missing months. He's missing key games. Villarreal, yada, yada, yada. All the big-time matches that we needed him. We needed him to play in. We needed him to be a useful player, a leading scorer on the team. He's not shown up. He'll show up for the lesser games. I wonder if this thing gets stretched out to me any longer. The one thing I would say, and you can disagree with me on this, I understand it. I would just say this: if it gets to April and we don't have a renewal agreement, or we don't have a separation agreement, I guess, if that hasn't come down, I'd give that April 3rd. I believe it's April 3rd, right? April 3rd is the Inter match. I'd give that day as a deciding factor. If you're not there playing that match, you can go. You know what I mean? Like if you're not going to show up, I don't care. Like at this point, your injuries can't be serious enough that you can't be playing in these matches, right? If it's just a knock, play through the pain, my guy. You're getting paid this kind of money. Play through the damn pain. Show up. Lead your team to a victory against Inter in a match that could be pivotal at the end of the season. I know Alejandro and Julian and everybody else on the channel disagree with me, and I disagree with me for the most part. But at the same time, I don't think, and when I say this, I don't think it's because Juve are doing this out of their own merits. But I think Juve could be in there in the end competitively with the top three. The reason is not really because Juve is doing anything special. Juve are on this lossless streak. They haven't lost at all. I say that because it's not a lot of winning. It's winning and a lot of draws too. But if Juve can go in there, defeat Inter, see how the other teams are end up, playing out. They keep losing. They keep losing. They keep drawing. They keep dropping points and just allowing this poor quality Juve to stick around. If that happens at the end, we'll see if it's actually an actual talk. But if that's the situation and Juve are near, within 4 points of the top, Dybala needs to be out there playing. You need to get your ass out there. You need to go play. You need to go try to win this freaking game. And that's all I have to say. But let's go switch it up a little bit. And I have one other take to go off of this, though. And something that really brought up to me, and you think about it on a professional level. And I know fans are going to disagree with this. Fans are not going to agree with me because, they have personal feelings on the matter. They have, emotional feelings on the matter. But professionally, if Dybala was offered 8.5 million euros, whatever, in October, that's probably what his contract should be offered at now. If we're going to be honest. If you're being respectful, if you're being professional, that was the offer then. I don't think you can change it. I don't think you should be able to change it. I'm sorry about your luck. You offered it. You know what I'm saying? I understand a little bit. There's a part of me, though, that is understanding of why Dybala has frustrations and why he has these issues. So, yeah, I think if you're Juve and you offer that amount, you it's a bad look. It's a bad look to change it, regardless of the situation. I completely understand. I completely agree. He's not playing. He's injured a lot, whatever. But that was the offer that was on the table. I don't know. I guess maybe you can argue that because it didn't get signed, they could pull it. They could do whatever they want with it. But it just seems a little bit not professional to me. Anyway, those are my thoughts. You let me know your opinions on that as well when it comes to Dybala. I'm sure you will. I know a lot of a lot of your opinions, but at the same time, yeah, you have to look at it from both perspectives, right? So we'll see. All right. Next story up, we're talking about Morata, and as Gazzetta dello Sport is saying that Juve have already made contact to try and sign Morata. Juve will not pay the 35 million euros. The club want to offer 15 million euros plus bonuses. This new offer has already been talked about with his agent. That's great. It's been talked about with his agent. Has to be talked about with Atletico Madrid, and Atletico Madrid have to agree to it. And I think they're going to have a lot of options coming in the summer. So we'll see how willing they are to maybe come down a little bit. If it's 15 million euros plus bonuses, maybe getting that to the 20 million euros. Maybe that's something that they'll entertain. But at this point right now, they have options. So we'll see. We'll see how this pans out, because especially if Juve have injured players or Dybala's situation falls through, we could have a deficit there in the attack, and we'll see. If Vlahovic is great, but Vlahovic by himself is going to be difficult. Okay, then continuing on, Gazzetta dello Sport also has to say that basically Juve's offer to Cuadrado is a 2-year deal at 3.5 million euros with an option of an extra year. So I think that's a feasible number. I think it's, there's not much to say. There it is. That's the offer for Cuadrado. We'll see if he signs it. I know he has other options that he could make more money at, but I don't think he can go to another club where he can really potentially win at the level that you can here. And then another talk about is Tudo Sports over here reporting that basically Juve looking at their left back options to replace Alexandro. Really, not only is Renan Lodi an option, but also Juventus are looking at Matias Oliveira at Getafe, and I'm sure I butchered some of that. Whatever. That's the offer that they have for or not the offer. That's the player that they have that they could go after. Just so you guys know, he is a Uruguayan player. I think he's about 24 years old, and it's about 6 foot tall. Whatever that is in meters. There you go. All right, continuing on though, we've got Mirko De Natale talking about De Sciglio and that he is close to signing a new deal with Juventus, saying that the meeting between Juve and the entourage of De Sciglio could take place in the days following the match against Villarreal. The feeling that filters true are always one of absolute tranquility. The intention of Juve and the player is to continue together. So Juve really want to stick with him and want to keep him at the club for at least another season, maybe 2 seasons. So we'll see how that ends up going. I understand it's very much a bipolar reading when it comes to De Sciglio, and should we keep him, should we let him go? Obviously, about a year ago, it was get him out of here at all costs. Lyon, whoever can buy him and keep him out of here. But when he came back with Allegri, he's been a little bit more useful than he had in the previous regimes, and I think he's done pretty well, especially as he is one of Allegri's sons there in the club. So we'll see how that ends up panning out. For right now, I'd be okay with another year or two, especially while you're looking for another option to end up replacing there at the the back situations that they have currently going on. All right, let's continue on though. We've got to talk about the injuries, and I don't know why I said it that way. Tudo Sports saying that Allegri is hoping Chiellini and De Sciglio will be back for Sampdoria. If not, Max will miss 10 first-team players, and this team continues to be decimated by injuries. You got McKennie out, you got Chiesa out, you got Chiellini, you got De Sciglio, you got Alexandro some parts of the season, you got Dybala out, you got all these issues that continue to compile. You got Zakaria, who we're waiting to get fully healthy, and it just continues on and on and on and on. At some point, throw us a freaking bone, right? But as it stands right now, you probably could make a better first team with you definitely probably could make it's hard with Vlahovic and Delic being healthy, right? But you could make a solid first team of just injured players at this point. So maybe you got to give Juve a little bit of credit that they continue to not lose games given the situation, but at the same time, something's got to give. You should have enough talent to hold things off, but these guys, you got to get healthy and you got to get back on that field. Because anything could happen at this point. 4th place, you got a good hold on it right now, but 2 games go wrong and it's gone. It's out of here. So we'll see how it ends up panning out because Atalanta are there nipping at Juventus's heels currently. Let me know your thoughts on the injury situation. How could they go about this in the future to try to deter the current struggles? Anyway, guys, those are the news stories that we have right now. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. What are your thoughts on the injuries? What are your thoughts on potentially Raspadori coming in? Do you think it'd be an option to come in if Dybala ends up staying with the club? We'll see. And then as well, let me know about potentially the moves that could be made with Bernardeschi, Moise Kean, Cuadrado, all that good stuff, and the money being thrown out there. We appreciate it. Let me know that in the comment section down below. Make sure you hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, hit that bell icon to stay notified for all of our latest videos. Make sure you follow Bianconeri Zone at Bianconeri Zone on Twitter and Instagram, and follow me at Justin Sofer on Twitter as well. We'll see you guys next time. Forza Juve, Forza Bianconeri.